Bonjour! So here we are in France for round 8 of the 2013 FIM World Motocross Championship, and we return to Ernée for the first time since 2009. That year saw a total home domination of the MX2 class, with the first 4 riders across the finish line, all French. Gauthier Paulin was the 4th man that day. He's now pushing at the top of the MX1 class and will be looking to take his 3rd win of the season as he continues to push for the title against Tony Cairoli. In MX2, we've seen week in, week out the near-perfect form of Geoffrey Herlings, but there are 2 French riders in Christophe Charlier and Jordi Tixier that will be looking to make the most of home advantage. But before all of that, we'll take a look at what happened a few weeks ago in Brazil.
Hey, I'm Maxime Delpré, I ride for Yamaha Monster Energy.
Hi, I'm Xavier Bog and I ride for KTM Ice One Racing.
it's just amazing, you know, to be here in France, especially because I'm not enough in France. So to be here at the home GP, riding the World Championship, I've done a good start of season already. So, I mean, it's amazing. I'm waiting a lot of the fun, and I think they're waiting a lot of me. So it's really cool, really happy to be here. Yeah, I mean, you can see everything. French GP, French fan, you don't know what they can do. They do a lot of noise by night. Then when I'm racing, that you can see the track, it's even too small, you know, because you can see all the arm and everything. Sometimes, like if you do good, you can't hear your bike anymore. And that's all the feeling I think not so many people have, and it makes you, I think it gives you a lot of power, a lot of energy. The first idea was from my girlfriend and me, and then with my agent and all the sponsors, we start to build it up, and we received many designs, and then in the end we choose like the one we prefer. Actually, from by my side, it's the one I choose, the one I prefer. But my agent, my girlfriend, and many of those sponsors were looking at, and they were happy with that also. So it was cool. Year after year, it's been more difficult, like more professional. We are all working hard, and for this, we need to keep place for the fun. And actually, we start to have Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and with that, we can contribute. You know, that we can be more involved in MX at the MX World Championship. You can still be close from the rider, and there is not the tent of 20 meters and everything. You know, we are still really close from the public, and even our racetrack, it's not so. People are still really close, and it's what we like, and it's what we will keep.
Et là, on va prendre, il y a le coco.
In MX1 we have Tommy Searle. He is runner-up MX2 from last year with us, so we take him to do 450 this year. We are very happy about his result. It takes some time to adapt the category, but it's coming better and better, so we trust on him to be on the podium before the end of the year.
We're nearly halfway now through my first season MX1. It's been up and down, you know. It started off all right, I had some good motors, and then I broke my finger a couple of weeks ago, or months ago. And then that's made it hard for me to ride and stuff, but it's all right, you know, it is what it is, and hopefully I can get some more better motors towards the end of the year. I think I'm 6 now, so, you know, obviously I want to be top 5, and that's what we said at the beginning of the year, but I just want to take it race by race. You know, this year is my first year and it's a learning year, so where I finish at the end of this season isn't really a big deal to me. I just want to get some motos, like some good races, and get on the podium and build my confidence up and work on that, my strength and stuff towards next year.
In MX2 we have Alexandro Lupino. He made his first podium in Bulgaria, so we are very happy about this. So he needs to start better, because now the start is very important in MX2, and he has to improve his start for this year.
The first part of the season was not easy for me. I mean, I started in January when with the training was getting better. I broke my shoulder, and from there I lose a lot of time of training. After Barket I was getting better, and then in Arco di Trento, in the start the first moto, I broke my ribs, and yeah, it was again bad for me, bad luck. And the week after I want to go so fast and make my first podium ever. I was so happy, but my physical condition was not good, so I stopped with the training with the bike 1 month. It was really hard, and then after Brazil, I go back in Holland, and they 2 weeks of really hard training, and now I'm back strong.
The second rider in MX2 is Arnaud Tonius. He had an injury at the beginning of the year before starting to ride with our bike. To manage the situation as well, we take Jimmy, the coaches, to replace Arnaud. So it takes some time to adapt to the European track, because it's very different from the US. So coming better GP after GP, and we hope that we can be on the 10 first rider. Should be good.
It's been good. At first it was definitely tough. I think when I came here it was from riding Supercross. I don't think I was in good enough shape fit-wise, and riding outdoors enough to be fully comfortable with everything in the big change and the longer motos. But ever since Brazil, I started working with Willie, who's Lupino's guy that he's been working with, and you know, we all know Lupino's fit. He's charging last 2-3 laps. So I've been kind of doing what he's been doing, and you know, more cycling and almost not as much riding, more of just training off the bike to get fitter for the motos. It's almost like an uphill battle because of coming in here. I don't think I was fully prepared, which was my biggest thing. But other than that, the whole experience and the way I've been riding has been okay. It's not the best I've been riding, but I mean, I'm doing all right. And during the week in practice, I have some pretty good days. So just trying to bring that to the race is almost one of the biggest things for me this year.
has got to have been one of the most exciting Grand Prix of the year. A great weekend for a huge French crowd. Jeffrey Hurling's put in a heroic performance to win the MX2 class ahead of Dylan Ferrandis, his second career podium ever, and Christophe Charlier. Meanwhile, in MX1, Tony Cairoli finished just ahead of Gauthier Paulin, with Clément Dessel coming home in third. We'll see you next weekend in Majora.